Hello, Alliance South District family. Hope you guys are having a great time and just having celebrated Thanksgiving and now moving into Christmas. I just recorded this a moment ago and it was 25 minutes long, so I thought I gotta do it again and try to be a little more concise. But nonetheless, there is a lot of information that I'm going to try to really condense, but I appreciate if you would be able to listen to the important information and or read through the email to make sure that you get it all. First, I just want to remind us again about Christmas and the moment or the reason why we celebrate this. And in John chapter 1, which refers to Jesus, the Word that was in the beginning with God, all things are made through him, refers to him as the light that was coming into the world. And that he was the light of all men in verse 9. He was the light of the light that the true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. And I want to remind us of that, that he is the God who allows the light to shine on both the righteous and the unrighteous, the believers and the unbelievers. Um, and he came into the world, and though the world was made through him, it did not recognize him, right? And people today are still not recognizing who Jesus is. And for a long time, many of us did not recognize who he was. But for those, it says, he came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. They didn't recognize him, they didn't receive him. But to those who did receive him, those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. So as you prepare your sermons, as you prepare and decorate your church and do your Christmas programs, and as you just go about your business, may you be light, and you be light to your neighbors. May you be light of Christ to your cashier, to your mechanic, to whoever and wherever you come across people. May they see the light of Jesus in you and take one step closer to knowing who he is. So let me go over some important things also with you. The end of the year letter you received, and there it was different than it's been before. So let me give a little bit of explanation about the end of the year letter. So in my previous district, the Northeastern District, that was something we received every year. Um, some of the things that we included, like the salary questionnaire and where we specifically requested pastors forward this to your treasurer and your governing board because we want you to have those conversations. So someone did ask, well, what is this for and who's asking for it? And I said, very good question. I should have explained that better, so I'm doing that now. The reason for that is it so often is just a difficult, awkward conversation for pastors who tend to be humble and meek to have conversations about compensation and salary and retirement. And we're experiencing a crisis across the clergy in America, all denominations, of financial planning and retirement. So this is just a desire to say, hey, this yearly questionnaire will foster conversations. And again, we'll celebrate with those that are well taken care of and have planned well. And then I want to be able to provide some coaching to boards and to pastors who may not have planned well, because I see it as my responsibility to know and care for the well-being of our pastors spiritually, but also financially. So that's the reason for that survey. It's just a desire to initiate those conversations between you and your church. And then, if necessary, I'd love to be able to jump in and have conversations with you as well and say, okay, how can we get on a path um, of financial stability and retirement and all that stuff. So it's just my desire to care and make sure that our pastors are being cared for. Next thing is, in it mentioned the MEGs and what we want to do with the MEGs. Let me tie that in real quick to district conference because that was the last time we saw each other. District conference was great, and I want to thank everyone who took the time to respond to the survey afterwards and give us some feedback. Well, you know that it was very well received. We got those who, hey, this is what we loved. This is what we appreciated about it. We're excited about this, but we also got I wish this had been different, or I wasn't crazy about this. And it was all of you who wrote with so much grace, especially on the constructive criticism side. And I want you to know it's all been well received. Because come on, I mean, we're pastors, right? I mean, what sermon series have you preached where you get one where you're like, oh, I forgot that, or I wish I had done that differently, or, so same there, I feel like there are moments we hit it out of the park at conference. And then there were moments where like, I wish I could go back up to hit a do-over or something on one of those, or some of those. So yeah, it happens. And then we appreciate your positive feedback. So regarding that and where we want to go forward, now that I've laid out the mission and the vision, um, we are not doing MEGs next year. The letter mentioned it'll be a little bit different. Actually, just we're not doing MEGs as they've been done before. Um, or so what we are doing is we're wanting to meet one main need, and that is for us as a district to be able to connect with each other. It keeps coming up whenever we get together in Meg's conference, we don't know each other, we feel disconnected, we feel siloed. So we're going to have Zoom meetings starting in January, and we're going to have them once a month, and they're going to be for prayer, just to get together for an hour and pray with each other. But here's how we're going to do it. We're going to get together maybe the first 10 minutes or so, have a meditation from the Word, but then we're going to randomly it'll be broken up into smaller groups, 4 to 5 max. And the reason is that now you're in a group of 4 or 5, and in the next 45 minutes, you get a chance to get to know those men, women, and pray for them and with them. Um, and then the next month, when we sign on, you'll be broken up to a different group. And I know there's oh, I want to see the guys from last month, but the main purpose that we need, or the need we need to meet, is to get to know people outside of our circles. So in the Megs, the regional, you got together with the people that you already knew. Now you're going to get together and meet people that you don't know. And my goal and hope is that when we come to conference, you'll see people and you're like, I know him from one of the prayer meetings. And hey, how is it going? I've been praying for you ever since. So that's the reason we're going to be doing the prayer things, prayer gatherings, and then breaking up into smaller prayer groups so that we can connect with people from across the district and not just our own cluster. Um, the other reason is for coaching. I see one of the main reasons and main needs that I have, responsibilities, is to coach, to develop, to train. So my staff is already doing some of that, and that's part of what the MEGs were for. But you can't really do a lot of training in just one day. Um, and also the need to connect. It needs to be relational. And in a MEG where we have a lot of people or we're pressed for time on a Zoom call, I'm not getting to talk to you. You're not getting to ask me questions. You're hearing a vision or you're hearing some training, and then we're gone. So I'm going to go through the district now that we've laid out, hey, this is our mission and vision. We desire to see every man, woman, and child across our district have repeated opportunities to hear the gospel. We want to equip church leaders to transform their communities by deploying fully devoted disciples of Jesus into every county in our district, and pray that an expression of the alliance grows out of that. So I want to go through and one-on-one or smaller groups, be able to talk and to share and hear about you, hear about your ministry, your journey. What is God doing where you live and serve? What has God put on your heart for your church, your people, your community? I want to hear that. So we don't want to be putting things on top of each other, right? So MEGs and then other training and other. So that's why I'm going to, as I go through and set up meetings or opportunities, lunches, to just sit with you pastors, uh, and and hear and get to know you and share my heart and hear your heart. And to end, really good news. During conference itself, the Northeast pastors of Georgia, Northeast Georgia, the very next day, they're like, hey, we got together last night and we're on board. We want to invite you to come and talk to us, and we want to get our leaders and there from our churches, because we want to see how can we be a part of this, and seeing the kingdom expand in Northeast Georgia. So they set it up already for December 6th. We just had it a few days ago, and it was amazing. Over 30 church leaders were there, 5 pastors were represented, and I shared with them the vision from conference, but I also shared with them, now here's how we're going to take some steps to make this happen. And the key thing was coaching. So in January, with this group, this cluster of pastors in Northeast Georgia, I'm going to begin, and we're going to focus on spiritual and deeper life. How do we continue to build and mentor and deepen the spiritual life in our church and a hunger for God and for His mission? Second, discipleship. How can we improve our development of disciples, of workers? Remember, Jesus didn't say pray for the harvest, although it's not a bad thing to do. He said, pray for workers. The harvest is plentiful, man. What we need are workers. So, how do we develop our leaders more effectively? And some of those leaders will say, you know what? I have been developed as a leader, but God's calling me to serve right here in the church to develop me. Some of those will say, I'm being developed because I believe God is calling me to the county next to us. So whichever one, right? Either way, it's going to be a productive time. So for those of you that are in other parts of the district that responded that night also, you just haven't done it personally, but you're like, hey, I'm on board. I want that coaching. I want this. I want to be coached continually on how to be better at making disciples in our church and developing leaders in our church. Then let me know. Yeah, hit me up right away because I'm starting this group in January, and I'm going to be focusing on this first group before I try to branch out and do more. So this is about shorter than the last one. So again, I appreciate if you've made it all the way through to this part of the video, to listen and to hear. Send me your questions. And when you hear from me or from the office saying, hey, Tony's coming through, you'll be in the area, um, respond, please. I really want to have those just conversations now and get to know each of you and pray with you, hear your heart. So again, Merry Christmas. God bless you. We are praying for you as you are serving the Lord and being light for light of Christ right there in your church and in your communities. God bless.